Welcome back to the Cozy Cabin. I'm your Cozy Cabin mom, and today we're gonna do kind of a fun fall-inspired activity. We're gonna make Rice Krispie treats, pumpkin flavored, and we're gonna shape them like little pumpkins. It's gonna be so cute. We're gonna start by melting the butter. It's just 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Once it's melted, you can add your pumpkin puree. You're gonna wanna cook out as much moisture as you can from this pumpkin puree because it is pretty moist. After that, you can add some pumpkin spice, and then you go in with your marshmallows. You really gotta make sure that they're nice and melty before you fold in the cereal. So a whole bag of mini marshmallows, it's about 10 ounces. And then after that is all melted, you mix in your cereal out of the heat. You're gonna mix it all together before you put it on a parchment-lined sheet pan. And then as soon as it cools down enough to touch, you can form it into little pumpkin balls. Stay tuned. I have the heat on medium. You do medium, medium low. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite fall treat. This is one of mine. I try to make it every year and give it out to all my neighbors as a little fall snack. I think that it's so fun and easy, and it's like just a simple, adorable way to make the season festive. And do about a teaspoon of the pumpkin pie spice. I kind of eyeball it. That's good. And then it's a half a cup of pumpkin puree. And remember, we're looking to cook off some of that moisture from the pumpkin puree before we add the marshmallows in. That is already smelling so tasty. I love pumpkin pie spices. I love pumpkin pie though, so pumpkin spice everything, you know, pumpkin spice candles, pumpkin spice coffee, pumpkin bread, pumpkin pie. I'm just a pumpkin gal. I think all it needs to cook out is about 2 to 3 minutes. Stirring pretty consistently. You really don't want it to burn on the bottom there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Pretty devoid of moisture. Now we go in with the 10 ounces of marshmallows. And we're trying to get these nice and melted. Kind of looking like a gooey mess. Just trying to kind of get the marshmallows evenly coated with the pumpkin puree and get them to melt at the same time. All right. It should look just like this. Ooey, gooey, and delicious. I'm just gonna pour this straight into the Rice Krispie bowl. It's looking pretty. Remember not to touch this with your hand because it is super hot, so use a spoon to stir it. And just stir it until it's evenly coated all over that Rice Krispie cereal. You are gonna hear a little snap, crackle, and pop when you stir. That's normal. Now that it's fully incorporated, I'm gonna do my parchment-lined sheet pan and let it cool for a little bit. And remember, we're gonna form them into little pumpkin shapes, so you don't really have to worry about making it all the same density or thickness. Just kind of spread it out sporadically, let it cool down enough for you to touch, and then we're gonna form them into little pumpkin balls. Now we're ready to make them into little pumpkins. So gather them into a ball, and after you form them into a little ball, you are gonna let them sit for a little while longer so they can solidify in their ball shape, because they are really sticky right now and still kind of warm. Lightly warm. This part is the messy part, which is, I think, delightful. Because like, what would a craft be if it's not a little messy, you know? They don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect pumpkin. If you squeeze them, they form into a ball a little bit easier. So they are cooled down, which is great. So you can kind of make them a little bit more solid, a little bit more ball shaped. And pumpkins aren't truly ball shaped. They're more of like a flattened oval. So you can make them into a ball at first and then flatten them down just a skosh. And again, they don't have to be perfect. And then you're gonna take your spatula, create some little lines. It doesn't have to be even, it just has to be fun. I'm using a cinnamon stick as the topper to my pumpkin. Oops. And then the cinnamon stick just goes right in the middle. And then there you have it.